We are yes, we are learning for the refuah shlema. Who? Barta Bat Sarah. That she should have a refuah shlema. Guys, if you can please not speak in the background because it's very hard for me to concentrate. Thank you. I still love you. Don't worry, I forgive you. Anyway. So, and the subject was self-care, and we're gonna discuss it. But we have to Parashas Lech Lecha. It's one of my favorite parashas because I think it is so important for our generation today. Lech Lecha. So, it says at the beginning, Vayomer Hashem el Abraham, Lech Lecha me'achzecha, mimoladtecha, מבית אביך אל הארץ אשר אראך. Very strange. Why do you have to say all those things? Just leave. Where is it? From which place? And from the land, and from your birthplace, and from your home. From your home. Beit Avicha. So, and plus, I'm not going to tell you where you go. Surprise. So, this is the first time that actually Hashem spoke to Abraham or to a human being as directly since Adam HaRishon. Obviously, he was connected, but
not the other places.
Well, they were some different level of prophecy, right? But the first one that God talked to, and it's the person itself that was looking for God, right? All the other time, it was God reaching out. Here, Abraham is looking for God, he's looking for an answer. And God answers. But it's the first connection to who is going to be the father of the Jewish people. So here, there's a kind of very unique and important moment where it's talking about how we are meant to become a Jew. What is supposed to be our first step in having a relationship with God? That's really what it's saying. So, what does Lech Lecha means? Lech Lecha, go for yourself. That's usually how it's translated. And Rashi says, for your Hana, right? It says, Lehanatcha uletovatcha. So for your pleasure, it's for you. And it's very strange because you think, okay, thank you so much. This one is spiked.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's spiked mine.
Yeah.
He's spiked mine.
I would never do that.
No. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Put some little time for no funny.
I'm just kidding. Anyway, no, I like a bit spiked. If as long as I don't drive next 2 hours. Anyway, I'm live, so I have to speak responsibly. You ask, why am I Jewish? Are you Jewish? What's the purpose of your Judaism? Most people are going to answer, to serve God. And God says, don't serve me. Lech Lecha. You don't do things for me. I don't need anything. I'm God. I don't need anything. I'm self-sustaining. Unless maybe you can argue Rabbi Manis Friedman says God needs. But you have to understand what that means. But it's a different way of thinking. But God technically doesn't need. So Lech Lecha, God is saying, I create the world, like as the Ramchal says, for you to have the greatest possible pleasure. When I discovered that part of Judaism, I find it so fascinating and so different from any other religions or way, because most people worship things, right? And God say, I don't want to be worshipped. I want a relationship. But the only reason I would want a relationship is for you. If you want, you can retract and not have a relationship. No, thank you, God. I don't want a relationship. Yes, I want a relationship. It's like the ring. Yes or no? Put the ring. We made a keeper. Anyway, or basketball. Anyway, the idea is and that's what I find very liberating in Judaism. Don't look at my Judaism. I'm forced. I'm stuck. I'm the first stuck. Take my kippah. Okay, I have the bris, but that's because I have bris because I was born a Jew, and the only reason I was born a Jew is because I decided to convert at some point in my previous life. It's not that I'm stuck. I chose that. If I paint my face in blue and become an avatar or Smurf, and the next morning I wake up and say, oh, I don't want to be a Smurf. I don't want to be a blue avatar. Say, hey, dude, you chose that yesterday night. The reason you woke up like that is because you made that choice. So yes, I might not remember it was a long night, cold, maybe 1,000-year night, but my soul came back as a gilgul to finish the choice I made. Why did you make that choice? Lech Lecha. Because God said, if you take that path, you will have the highest possible pleasure, the purpose of creation that I created the world for. So how do we get there? He's telling you, you want to get to me, you want to reach the pleasure and the good that I created. Lech Lecha, go for yourself. It has to be your choice. Don't make this someone else's choice. And you need to become an individual. Remember, he's 75, not like a little kid, right? So even at that age, you need to live. In my country, we swear by the baguette, the croissant. Oui. If I don't have a croissant every day, I don't have a good day. Very hard. Croissant. No, but I'm just giving an example. Let's take something more realistic. If I need to, well, let's say, I don't have my coffee. It's very hard for me to she's very famous. Huh? The classical reference. Okay. So we don't have my coffee. Right, it's not really good. Or if there's no democracy, or in France, I'm not good. It's not going to be good for me. So whatever France is about, I have a mentality of my country. Mentality. This is how I grew up. I grew up with that mentality. Then what it says, so the place of your birth. The place of your birth is also the place where your community gave you certain things. Oh, I'm French Hasidic, or I'm French Litvish, or I'm French, a Jewish Sadma, Jewish Dati, Jewish Chiloni, Jewish whatever, Haredi, whatever. I grew up in a certain place, and I grew up a certain way, and that's what we do. What I mean, you need to disconnect from that also to some level. This is not you. This is where you were, mimolatecha. And then Beit Avicha, your parents. Your parents, they wanted you to play violin, or they wanted you to be a great Talmid Chacham, or Shishiva, or they wanted you to be a successful businessman, or they wanted you to be a doctor or lawyer, right? Especially if you're Buchanan, doctor, lawyer, what's good. So that's very nice. But is that Lecha? Lech Lecha, Hashem is saying, you want to achieve the highest pleasure. You want to be connected to me, you need to become you and make the choice because of you, not because of your country, the place of influence that's your social media, so to speak, and your parents. Meaning, we're not saying we have to reject that, but why do you do what you do? What's the authentic self? Are you a product of your parents, of your country? Well, you're a piece of all of that. And you have to take the good part and see the mistake, but understand that unless you make the choice to connect to God or to become who you are because of this is my choice, it's not because my country chooses for me, it's not because of my social environment, and it's not because of my parents, it's because I want to, then you can start having an authentic relationship with God. That's where Judaism starts, right? And it's one of the reasons why in the process of Gerut, it's very strange. Say, oh, you know, your parents, before you convert right now, it's like they're not your parents anymore. You have new parents, Abraham and Sarah. That's your parents, Ben Abraham and Sarah. Okay, but no, your country is not France, Germany, or America. Your country is Israel now. You have a new country. And your minhagim is not anymore, you know, this or that, coffee or croissant, is hummus, falafel, Zohan style. But it's Shabbos, it's challah, it's cholent, it's whatever. What? Gluten. The Jewish minhagim, so why do we go to such an extent to cut so much? Because it's saying we make a choice, and that choice is defined by who I am. When I choose who I am, it's like an enter in different reality. I enter into the reality of a relationship with God, and that's real. And I think this is very powerful because it gives us a hint of what Hashem is telling you at the first step to become an authentic Jew, to have a relationship with God. Who are you? What is your choice? Don't be a copy of another human being, of another Jew, right? Now we know there's something called minhagim, minhagavot. So obviously, there's a mitzvah of kibbud avim, and the halacha says, you know, you should follow your parents' minhagim. But if you look in halacha, although that's ideal, if you really feel that way of serving God is not doesn't help, is not, it gives you a challenge to really connect, Lecha, to connect yourself to God, then you can ask permission not to your parents, if it's okay to change the minhag. And if you look in Halacha, Rabbi Eliashiv and Auerbach and Rabbi Yosef and all the big Rabbanim, you will see that in many situations, they were able to change the minhagim of their parents because that was the ideal. They didn't grow up like them, or they didn't, the schools they went to was different than their parents, and therefore it brought more harmony like that. It helped them to connect more to their to themselves. So it's very important to be connected to your own true self and to ask your question. And although this is true about your relation with God and Judaism, you have to ask that about everything. When we're talking about self-care, that's self-care. Why do you do what you do? Why do you eat too much chocolate, you women? I'm just kidding. Why do you get angry each time someone is late? Why do you get nervous or stressed each time you don't see a minimum of $1,000 on your bank account? Why do you have those triggers? What's triggering you? Why did some people are not like that? So why you? And you need, I think that one of the most important steps of self-care as a human being is really to learn about your inner child.
Exactly.
I have confirmation from the Kohen, who will soon to be Kohen Gadol. So I'm in safe. And I'm his Levi. I reserved him for the house. So please don't steal him from me.
Oh, you gotta like just understand that things sprout, right?
Right.
And from your early childhood development,
Absolutely.
what your parents instilled in you, socialized, then that's where a lot of your issues come from.
Exactly. And I need to see, why am I impatient? Why I'm always happy? Why I don't like mathematics? Why I love sport? Why? You need to ask why. It says in the Gemara, who is a chassid? The one who always asks why. Lama, right? Not the animal. No, it's just a joke. You have to ask yourself why you became who you are, and it's okay to copy sometimes certain people, your parents, friends, social media thing, but you have to make sure it's good for you, Lecha, and that you choose to do that on purpose, not because you're back, because you want to follow everyone. Meh. Were you ever at a cattle and a sheep, how you flock, or like at a sheep farm,
yeah,
where you have all the sheep? Did you ever try to communicate with them?
They'll start yelling back.
No, but I wanna
You do
understand
one
that.
thing, all of them together, meh, right? And you go right, they go all right. If only one goes, I used to work on a farm, so I know. And yeah, I was very lucky for a whole year working the farm, Yeshiva farm.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. We got it.
Are you talking about Joel McKay?
Soon. That's the Shabbos farm. But yeah, so we're taking care of animals and we have a lot of sheep and goats. And literally, so that's what Pharaoh's thing. Pharaoh wanted to enslave us. That's why thing we said in the past. Why did he wait? He was stubborn, stiff-necked, and he waited till the month of Nisan. Because Nisan is Tzeli, right? Tzeli, the Aries, the lamb. It's a Tzeli in Hebrew, right?
What is it?
Nisan, zodiac. Tzeli, Tzli. So the lamb, right? The Korban Pesach is a lamb. Why is the sheep? Because the sheep, not the lamb, the sheep, sorry. The sheep is what we sacrifice, because Pharaoh's God, the highest God of all the gods of Pharaoh of Egypt, was the sheep. And therefore Pharaoh say, well, I'm going on Nisan, we're going to destroy them all. And what did Hashem told the Jews? What do we do a Korban Pesach? Do you think it's you take the thing and you have to cook it, and eat it? Like this is how you're gonna fight the Egyptian? Yeah. The Egyptians, so you're taking our God and you're killing our God. We were still showing Pharaoh that no more just following you, no more following the media, no more following Egyptian, rulership. Now we go for ourselves. We check that. And we're going to go Lecha. So this is tremendously important, because you need, if you want to be happy, you want to be healthy, emotional health, mental health. And today we all need to do it. We all need therapy. So or you do therapy with yourself, or you come to me and I charge you. Up to you. I'm pretty cheaper than most therapists.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Very good, by the way. Very good.
Thank you. So you need to look at your inner child and ask yourself, why did I become who I am? When you're angry, ask, why am I really angry? When you're sad, say, why am I really sad? And go to the core. Look at your child. Understand that there was a point in your life where you were a little child. Look at a picture or try to remember. And that little child, when he woke up in the morning, he was so happy. Yeah. Let's play. Let's have fun. You were not sad. You were happy being alive. You woke up in the morning and you want to play. You didn't? Oh, you really? Not you? You must be a unique type of Jew.
Rabbi, are you saying there's a natural joy to being alive, and when we get older, we just kind of forget about that joy?
Yes.
That's why some people take drugs and they feel it again. It's just the pure feeling of being alive.
Right. So please, let's do a mass.
I remember. I remember when I was younger, I was so excited. Life was so exciting.
Yes. Not even the same time. One at a time, because we're live in heaven and on earth.
The only stress I remember was like schoolwork, but everything else was like happy. You know, like you guys remember like cracking up in class about something funny? Like what was the last time you guys did? Like what was the last time you guys died of laughter?
Each time I see you. No.
It only happens like once every I don't know, once a year, or once every 2 years. You know, where you're like on the floor rolling. But when we were kids,
we do it all the time.
no, like
He meant before you.
When your stomach hurts.
yeah.
My stomach hurts. No, with my wife, a few times a year.
Well,
So
you got a good
come
life.
from innocent thing, like
Yeah.
being innocent.
Yeah, but understand. Let me see how it works.
In a million years.
How it works in terms of the inner child, right? If you just had your soul now, your body was not involved. You just felt your soul. You were connected to your soul. You would be high, meaning not the high cuckoo, but high, like really open spirit, very enlightened. You will be full of happiness. You will love everyone. You would like to give those guys a free hug because you love everyone so much, and full of energy and happy. And right, that's the natural state of your soul. Your soul is a piece of God. God is pure happiness, pure life, pure energy, pure love. So what happened? There's a filter that came on it called goof, body. And that filter actually, it's not the goof, the filter. The goof is the vessel, like we said. You have the light, energy, and the vessel, right? The goof. Now, between the goof and the soul, there is a filter. If you don't have that filter, your body feels so great, and you can purify yourself so much that you can go like Eliyahu Navi, alive to heaven. Your soul is going to purify your body, and the evolution, the real evolution, not from monkey to human being, but from human being to Adam and Lecha before the sin, which is the higher human being, then your body becomes back into spirituality. It's like purified. But we have a filter since Adam and Lecha sin, and that filter is our midot raot, our bad character traits. But tell me, when you were born, you didn't have bad character traits. It's such a cute. You were nice, you know, and you played. What happened? What happened to that pure baby, that innocent child?
We got corrupt.
We got hurt. We were lacking love. We experienced a lack of love. That's the main key of why we are in pain, or why we create filters, is because we don't feel the love, or we didn't receive the love that we needed, the attention that we needed. So what do?
We do other things.
You make a fence, so you close off So that no, I don't have to love everybody. I like this person looks dangerous, this person looks like this. I gotta protect myself, and the level of love that you feel is reduced enormously, because if you don't practice love, stop feeling it. Then you are looking for something to replace the dopamine of life and in life.
You're saying that human beings are born pure and they turn evil, or
Yeah,
Naturally,
they're born
right.
like
Naturally,
you're
there's
born with
exception.
that
If they-
character, but you work them out.
Yeah. So you can work them out.
Most people don't.
Most people don't do the work.
Yeah, but are we born?
She says that we're born with
Are we
bad
born?
character.
Are we born good and we turn to the nature?
No,
No,
you're born with connections, you're born with good relationships, but then your parents, when you do something wrong, they yell at you, and then you break that relationship. And then you look for other relationships to build. So you go and you build relationships with friends, you build relationships with habits, you build relationships with drugs or alcohol, or with partying, or activities that bring you instant dopamine. And instead of building positive relationships with your parents, Hashem, your siblings, chavrutas or good influences, you're building relationships with negative things. You understand?
It's not
But
about
it didn't come. No. Listen. You had the things that happened to you. They were designed by God for you to work specifically on those things that you didn't deal in the previous life. So if you got hurt a certain way and you got that bad midah, God wanted you to have that bad midah to work on. But usually it happens. So that's how we take care of ourselves. Why am I in pain? Why don't I don't trust people? Why don't I trust men? I don't blame you. I don't trust men either. Why am I not happy all the time? What happened?
Hit the nail on the head.
All right,
I didn't say nothing about being on time. No?
so
Oh.
so the idea is you need to look back
What did you
and
say
say,
about not being on time?
Is that something about not being on time?
No.
I thought you said something.
You guys like getting fun of me? That I'm always late?
No, I'm making fun of her. This is literally, I
not always
yelled
late,
at her
Sarah.
today.
No, but I was late today.
so the idea is
I'm late every day.
why you always late?
You're Persian.
So
Hasidic.
that's
You're adopted.
not Hasidim, or if you're Bukhari, you're always.
Oh, take it, you'll get back there.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to,
In school.
hurt your feelings of being late.
In our
But-
school, we would get.
But that would be Mimurat Techamemisbo from Bibeit Avicha, that you grew up in a family that's always late. Being late is not a good midah.
I see left at school. I was left at school alone with the security guard. It's like 9 o'clock.
I had that too as a kid.
What? Joe, that's horrible.
My dad would leave, he would come pick me up after the buses are already left.
Yeah,
So-
we would be sick, so we'd call him that we need to go home early, and we would wait until after everybody left school already. Then he would come.
Right, so we have, I also have a tendency to wait till all the cars have passed and I come last, so like I don't have to have traffic. Not because of that.
Has lightness issues.
Oh,
Rabbi, did you ever inflate something? Like a soccer ball or in a mattress?
yeah, when I go to Joe at the camping go, I put my measure.
Sometimes, if you don't get something perfectly, actually instead of inflating it deflates, right?
Right,
So we're so scared of that. We're like, just leave it the way it is. And you get a half inflated ball, and that's like us with love. Like we're so scared of the deflating. We just we just put tape on it. We're not even.
yeah, that's beautiful.
I think that that's-
Yeah.
It's a beautiful way to put it, yes. Absolutely. So guys, this is the secret. This is the secret of happiness and truly achieving, your purpose in life. It starts with that. You need to define. Now, I want to show you a few things that connects to that, and how it's important to go, guys. I'm gonna say that, and this I say almost to everyone who come to me for, advice and therapy, because there are things that are foundations. Number one, Elokai neshama shenatata bi teora. The soul you place in me is pure. You feel impure because of drugs, because of pornography, because of Netflix, or I don't know, not eating non-kosher, relationship with bad people, with Elokai neshama shenatata bi teora. The soul that is in me is pure. Your soul is pure. It's your body who gets affected. The real you is pure. Meaning you have mud on you, but you can always take a shower. You can always do tshuva. Don't think that because I did this, because I'm muddy, I'm Mr. Mud. No. You are the child that is nice, pure, and innocent. You is still there. And he's crying for attention. He's crying, please clean me. Right? So the first step is to realize, never give up on yourself. Never feel you're too low or too bad or too, you have to see what happened with all the story of Tanakh is the Jewish people failing. The Avot is also what they succeeded. Lech, Lecha, but all the things they failed. Right? Abraham and Sarah, they kind of failed Ishmael to some level. Yitzhak and Rivka, they kind of failed Esau. Right? The brothers, they wanted to kill each other. Yosef and the brothers. Adam Rishon, the greatest, he fell. Moshe Rabbeinu, he hit the rocks instead of speaking. Can't go to Israel. You got upset at your people. What kind of leader are you? Again and again, Eliyahu Navi, he has to come back to every Brit. You know why he's come back to every Brit? It's a tikkun. Because you gave up on your people and you say they're never going to change. So look, even in 2023, they still do on Pesach also. Right? They still, Eliyahu Navi, he comes and says, oh, they're still keeping it. They're still ma'aminim, b'nei ma'aminim, and they keep him thing. So all of Tanakh is stories and stories of mistakes that we make. All the stories of the greatest people, Rabbi Akiva, he's running after a girl. Rabbi Akiva. And there's another one, I forgot, it's Rabbi Meir, I forgot, who also, he ran after a girl and says, fire, fire. And he humiliates himself because, it was a trick from the Satan. Hashem was saying he's so holy. So Satan said, oh, yes, so holy. Let me show you how holy he is. Right? So it's okay. We're human beings. We're not meant to be angels. I want to be a malach. Chas v'shalom. Malach? I want to be able to make mistakes. I want to be a human being. I want a roller coaster of life. I can choose for myself. Lech lecha, for yourself. Lech lecha is go to you. Lech lecha, to you. To your inner child, what's there that's beauty and pure about you. So don't give up on yourself. Understand that you're pure in there and you can love yourself and you can wash yourself every day. That's why people, Rabbi Nachman of Breslov is so popular, because he says, "If Hashem is simchat tamid," even when you sing, yeah, because you're still alive. I mean, God loves you. You woke up in this morning, God loves you. He wants you. Again, Rabbi Munatecha, great is your faith that I'm going to be successful and I'm going to change the world and do some good and I can do tshuva. God loves you. You are lovable. You are lovable. A lot of you feel that not lovable. Oh, my parents never, were happy with me. So you feel nobody is good. My parents are not happy with me. Who is going to be happy with me? No. Be happy with yourself. I can love myself and I have to let other people love me. Because if you don't let, you won't feel it. So all the sicknesses essentially come from the lack of love, all the fences, all the thing, and the main cure is love. Remember, refuah, you take the letters of refuah, is the same letters as bo of. Here there is light, you want refuah, you need to bring light. And light, what gives light? Love. Love is light because God is love. Because we know Yud Kei Vav Kei, right? Gematria 26. Ahava is 13, and Ahava is 13. Echad ve'echad, 13 and 13 together, 26. Yud Kei Vav Kei. That's light. So you want to heal yourself, love yourself, allow other people, let other people love you. Okay, obviously, it's a dangerous world. We have to be careful, but we have to lower a bit our fences and trust that I will know if it's love or if it's abuse. I will know. You have to be careful. Okay. Now, Abraham, the uniqueness of Abraham, and it's part of that of being a Jew, is so important today. And I want to tell you why in our generation we have so many what people call of the derech kids, right? They're not of the derech. They're Lech Lecha, on the Lech Lecha derech. That's where they are. Those kids are like Abraham. We are at the end of time, and the way to bring Moshiach is to build the army of Moshiach. Who is going to be part of the army of Moshiach, right? To fight evil. Only strong individual who don't get caught up into the media, into the propaganda, into the
Mass.
The mass condition.
That the sheets.
Right.
Sheets.
Oh, Corona, vaccine. Whoa, slow down.
My mom will love you.
Yes, we have to protect ourselves. We don't even know yet the consequence of a vaccine. It usually takes a few. Anyway, okay, I'm pro-vaccine. But you have to slow down. If the whole world tell you do something, whoa. Relax. It's not. Don't just follow like a blind sheep. You're in danger. It's always the minority who are right. It's never the majority. Okay? The Jewish people are the minority of the world. But in the same time, we're very much sheeps because what do they, if you hear what they say in the media, who was the laboratory of the world during the pandemic? The Jews.
Everything that happened in the world, the Jews are blamed
Yes.
for. Even the Black Plague,
absolutely.
Black Plague in Europe, they killed like half of the population. Yeah, something like that. The Jews.
And there is the Jews to blame, of course, because we are the center of the world, and whatever happens to us is going to happen to the rest of the world. It's one. If we're good, the world will be good. If we're not, and that's the Lech Lecha. You want to change the world out there, you got to change the world in there, the inner world, right? The Mikdash, Beis HaMikdash, was what the source of influence, of goodness for the whole world. It says the body is the Mikdash Me'at, the small Beis HaMikdash. So whatever happens there, happens like the Beis HaMikdash into the world. You replace the Beis HaMikdash. That's why we have a shul also to represent that. But we need to be aware of the fact that I need to look at all those kids not as rebellious kids. Yes, as rebellious kids, but for the right thing. You cannot be a Jew if you're not a rebellious person. Abraham, he went against the entire world. It's crazy. Imagine this one that comes. Let's see, the 7 billion people on earth says, pandemic, everything's vaccine, and we say, yeah, vaccine, and this one guy say, no vaccine. Says he must be Jewish. Such a Jew, always different, always choosing against, right?
Sorry, you got the vaccine, Rabbi?
No.
Sure.
Are you crazy? I'm Jewish. No, I didn't get vaccine. I was lucky that I was able to survive without
But
it.
some of the Jews are the worst in the opposite.
Right,
Yeah, look
right.
at Kanye. By the way, what Kanye said is 100% right. Kanye's 100% right. I agree with Kanye.
No, he said Kanye, he's jealous of the Jews. You saw
No,
the
no,
video?
no,
He
no.
said he's jealous. He wants.
What are you talking about?
He says.
Jews control the media, they control the government. Look who's in the
Wait,
office.
oh yeah, they
And they're
control
making
a
it
lot.
bad for everybody.
Well, depends what kind of.
There's the real Jews and there's the fake Jews.
We are our own worst enemy. Look at Korah.
Absolutely.
How many people died in Korah? 240,000 people? 24,000 people?
No, Korah, no less.
A lot of people died during Korah. Korah took down.
I was like, he was students.
24,000, that's Akiva. Korah is 260 people.
Just 250. No.
It's 200. Hey, it's 250 Levim of my kind. So it's like a few million people.
My kind too.
Oh yeah, so our kind. So what are you talking about? So so where we're saying yes, that and the Gemara says it's the Gemara, okay? It's not the Midrash. It's like Midrash, but it's not Midrash. The Gemara says everything that happens into the world is because of the Jews.
Yeah.
When you convert, you are saying, I'm linking my soul to the entire system. I'm connected to the biggest internet server satellite of history, and whatever I do is gonna affect everyone and everything.
Projectors.
That's right. Global warming, your fault.
You too.
Yeah, all that. And it's great, but with great power comes great responsibility. Even Spider-Man knew it. Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, they all know it.
Jewish.
All Marvel is all Jewish. It's because of the Jews, those Marvel stuff. All those mutants from those experiments, and now they have superpowers from by the Nazis, and now they become mutants, and now they are the strangers, the dangers, because since they have superpowers, the whole world has to protect themselves from them. Who is he talking about? The Jews again. Those Jews, I'm telling you.
This went from a sheer to like a Nazi propaganda meeting.
Is I'm saying. So anyway, let's understand. I want to read to you Rav Hirsch. Okay, so the reason the kids rebel today more than ever time before, and the kids, you see kids, they're changing. They were Hasidic, and now they become Sephardi, or one Hasidus, they go another. They were Breslov, they become New Square, they go Vishnitz, and Vishnitz they go Chabad, and Chabad they become what? Yeah, I've seen everything. Brisker, Breslov, and you have a Litvish become Hasidic, and Hasidic become Litvish. They say the children of the Baal Shem Tov and the Baal Shem Tov and the Vilna Gaon, that their kids actually. Some of the descendants from the Baal Shem Tov became Litvish, and some of the descendants from the Vilna Gaon became Hasidic. And you can see it, it's easy. And you're gonna have Sephardim becoming Ashkenaz, and Ashkenaz becoming Sephardi, and Syrian taking Buchanan tradition is rare. That's really accepted. It's a life. One is a lifetime. Oh, but Temani, who is starting to do Ashkenaz stuff, and Buchanan, who start doing eating gefilte fish. Whoa! So like this. Crazy stuff. So anyway, those change, and you think it's not normal, Minhag. No. There's a change. Those kids need to find their own individuality. They need to find who they are for themselves, because they need that full strength. They have to have that Abraham strength. Now, I want to read you something from Rav Hirsch. Okay, it's from Pasha Toldot, but it's really relevant to what we're saying. What? That's what you're supposed Right. So, listen, I know you know it. Good. A plus. Okay, Rav here says, okay, they were Teumim. They were twins. Yaakov and Esau were twins. Okay. Everybody, they were identical twins. Identical. Why do you think Yitzchak could not recognize them? He didn't need to touch.
Because they were the same.
Let me hear your voice.
Touching.
Do you think you
Esau
have
was
different
red.
voices?
I thought Esau was red.
Yeah, no,
Why?
he's Esau. No, Esau, no, but he was
Yeah.
more hairy. That was the main difference.
No.
He looked the same, but he had more hairy, which I don't know if it's literal, but let's say.
But I have two brothers and they're not identical. I can't.
First of all, the hair, some say, was because of the coat that he was always having.
No. One of them was showing me something he did in school, and then I saw the name on the paper, and I was like, "Wait, you're David?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Sorry." He's like talking to me.
Oh, yeah,
It's
no.
just-
You know, that, it's
Oh,
hard. You need to make a scratch.
Yeah,
Make a little scratch, scratch like that. I know who you are.
they have seen like signs.
Oh, yeah.
Still, they don't
Yeah, no,
see,
it's hard. Sometimes
yeah, I
it's
have
hard.
to check one second.
Yeah. So, I say my twin each time I look in the mirror. But the idea is that we need to. It's possible that the thing with the hair is because Esau always had the coat. Okay, I don't know if the hairy thing is literal, but anyway, listen to what Rav Hirsch says. It's almost controversial. You want something controversial? Here you go.
Who's your friend?
Rav Hirsch, Rav Samson Raphael Hirsch, who was a German Jew, very famous.
Why is it controversial then?
Oh, because of what I'm going to read.
He's not controversial. What he's saying, like.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And controversial is good. That means he had an opinion that came from him, and it's controversial because people are used to a certain way of how to understand Judaism or certain stories. We love the yeshiva system, but it doesn't fit everyone.
Maybe you do.
No. Again, it works for some. For some, it's good. But listen to that. So he says, "Vigdelu hanearim, vayichi Esav ish Yodea Said ish Sadeh, Yaakov ish Tam Yoshev Ohanim." Okay, when the boys grew up, it came to pass that Esav was a man who understood hunting, a man of the field, and Yaakov, a single-minded man dwelling in tents. So listen to that. So he says, but why is it by Gdelu? It makes a remark, which is indeed a signpost for all of us. They point out that the striking contrast in the grandchildren of Abraham may have been due not so much to a difference in their temperaments as to mistakes in the way they were brought up. Dun, dun, dun.
Isaac's fault.
Yeah, it's like a Rivka.
My fault.
I did it.
As long as they were little, no attention was paid to the slumbering differences in their nature. Both had exactly the same teaching and educational treatment, and the great law of education, Chanoch Lanar al pi darko, bring up a child in accordance with its own way, was forgotten. That each child must be treated differently, with an eye to the slumbering tendency of his nature. Especially if your name starts with a J. And out of them, be educated to develop his special characteristics for the one pure human and Jewish life. The great Jewish task in life is basically simple, one and the same for all. We all do the 613 mitzvot. We all, have that thing to bring unity and all that, but in its realization is as complicated and varied as human natures and tendencies are varied, and the manifold varieties of life that result from them. And we saw that Yaakov understood that, because what happened to Yaakov, Abraham was supposed to have 12 children, but he failed because he was extreme chesed. Then Yitzchak was supposed to have 12 children, but he failed because of extreme gvura. Then came Yaakov, and he was able to have 12 children because he was tiferes, he was harmonic, he was centered, but the heart, tiferet. And that's what happened with Shalom. I don't know. You have to ask them.
No, please. My sorry to interrupt.
No problem. Peace and love. Okay. Actually, it's love and peace. You know, it's a big mistake because peace and love. I agree with you. It's love and peace. If you have peace and you have no love, the peace is not going to stay. But if you have love, then peace, then the peace is going to work.
How do you say that in French? Peace and love.
We just love in French. There's no peace. We just love.
I hear.
No, this French Revolution. Okay, that's it. You give me a little bit and that's it. Okay, so I see you another time, yeah?
Yeah, of course. Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving? Oh, Thanksgiving. Okay, Shabbat Shalom, guys.
People that go to France say that they're not friendly.
Yeah,
French people hate
unless you're French.
people.
If you're French also, you eat baguette and you're fine.
They don't like. They don't like.
They don't like.
They don't
Yeah,
like.
they don't like
They don't like.
They're very, and there's a good thing to it because, and that's why a Jew is a little bit French. Abraham especially was very French because Abraham made a revolution. The first French revolution is Abraham Avinu. He rebelled against the entire world and didn't allow society to continue the way it should be. So you understand that Abraham was not that, you know, I used to picture Abraham, you know, maybe like this, you know. My people, okay, it's time to do chesed and love each other. Eat a piece of bread. No, that was not Abraham Avinu. Abraham Avinu comes with a knife. No more evil, right? He was fighting. He was a warrior.
That's a Krav Maga, right?
Yeah, exactly. Abraham Avinu was a warrior. He was not that nice, you know. We think of a Jew. When people think of a Jew, they think, you know, the nose, maybe, of course, because of the nose, you know, no hair like me. And then, you know, like people of the book. That's more Yaakov, Israelim. But Esav is a part of the Jew that's supposed to be a warrior. Abraham was a warrior. He was fighting. And that's what God loved about Abraham. He was not afraid to rebel and to go for himself and to fight what he believed was true.
Rabbi, when I was just being that Bolshevik journey, I remember like somebody asked me, I forgot who, most of the rabbis are so feminine or weak, or like, just like
Rabbis?
yeah, like so many rabbis are just in general they're weak, feminine.
No, it's true. It's first of all, it's not feminine. We call it feminine because of the.
Yeah, whatever.
But I know what you mean. On physically weak. No, I think it's true to some level. Most rabbis don't go to the gym.
That I agree
Most-
with, but I don't believe it's an inner feminine.
It's also.
No, I don't. Femininity, no, it's not femininity. It's the wrong understanding of being nice and good.
I
And
think it's humility. It's like
it's not humility.
No.
not humility.
It's fake humility. Sometimes.
It's funny
Again,
because like the
they-
people that had more masculine energy were like giving into their titles too much. They had too much of a like.
If they were
I
like
heard-
Joe.
I heard people that are like carrier have like a bigger desire to like follow the Yitzhara. Like people that have like
No, that's true. That's true.
like that's why Sparties. Sometimes you see them like go crazy for things. They're like, you know, like other people are just like, oh, what's the big deal? It's just a girl.
Again.
You know? Like,
Listen, there's a lot of good rabbis, but it's true that overall, the majority of rabbis are completely in the Yaakov Ish Yoshev Ohalim, completely into the spiritual, and the body is almost forgotten.
Yeah.
And we don't have so much rabbis that are warrior rabbis.
And then when they are 60s, they're taking different values.
Right, yeah. Right. So it is challenging. Obviously, a real rabbi is meant to. A real rabbi is supposed to be more. How you say? And it's soft and understanding, and he learns most of the time Torah to help. But so he puts all his. He says so. No, the Gemara that you learn Torah, your body becomes weaker. It's true to some level, right? But that level of rabbi is there's very few like that. Where you like the Vinagon, we sleep 2 hours a day, but the right thing is balance. That's what happened. The choice that we made. That I believe because it's again there are people who are supposed to be dedicated completely to Torah and learning all day and all that, but that's a minority, right? People who are really passionate about learning so much so that they do it not because that's the only thing they did when they grew up, or not because they're really they can be the next leader of his generation, of his city or country, for the Jews.
But
But
don't need to be loud and
right, you don't need to be loud and all that.
like my
It's just
grandfather was the quietest person, but he didn't want to double cross.
right. Yeah,
He wouldn't
absolutely.
yell at you. Look at you.
Absolutely. Yeah. But he was a warrior, but the warrior through
So quiet.
whatever needs to be said, and that's it, not more. Then you have the people that are meant to be more like Esav, who are supposed to be much more active, the good part of Esav, and be or businessman or a warrior and fight. So that's what Yaakov realized with the 12 sons. What did he do with his 12 sons? He gave them all a unique, specific bracha corresponding to their tendencies.
So he was deserving of having so many sons
Because he understood that each child has its own place, and he was able to bring all the blessings through those 12 channels, so to speak. Right? Now, because even with 2 or 3, we don't even know how to take care of them. No, and sometimes it happens. It's rare. So he said, listen to what he said. It's just so beautiful. I want to read to you. When Father Yaakov visualized the tribes of our nation in the sons standing around his deathbed, he saw not only future priests and teachers, he saw around him tribe of Levites. Tribe of Levites, the tribes of royalty, of merchants, of farmers, of soldiers. Before his mental eye, he saw the nation in all its most manifold characteristics and diverse paths of life. And he blessed all of them. Each according to his specialty. See that's, you want to be a real father, a real mother, you have to learn how to bless people.
But it's not bad that everyone is different.
No, it is good. That's what we're saying. You need, absolutely, but that's exactly the point. That's good. We need all to be different. You're not supposed to do my job. I'm not supposed to do your job. So you need.
Every community.
I know.
Everybody has to.
That's what I'm trying to, but I'm the only one watching my own videos. Say maybe one day someone else will see. Anyway, but
I gotta open up a TikTok. You get like a whole Deutsch reel too.
yeah, but, and this is true for non-Jews too.
No, but you could take even from your videos, just take out like one sentence or like.
Right. Yeah.
I think people get it. Like today's days, nobody.
I need someone to do that for me.
I'll find someone in China, so I'll just make
Not trying to X them out, and then just take snippets and you make TikTok videos out of it.
It's like
45
nobody-
minutes here, like 50 videos.
I would rather listen to 50, like 50
step by step, right?
small videos.
No, I
145 minutes.
It depends, but I like to go. It depends for what,
I
when.
think it's this
If I'm in the car,
generation.
yeah, fine.
No, I think this generation has a really hard time sitting through.
Everyone.
I don't think I know.
Rabbi, now it's.
Yeah, for me, myself,
I know.
I have
Rabbi,
hard
the trend
Yes.
is make a long video, you put it on YouTube or Instagram. And if from that video, you get someone else, young kid, to take it into little bits, put it on TikTok or also Instagram. But the main thing still goes on YouTube for the people who can, watch the whole thing. But everything else goes on TikTok.
So
I think.
you're hired.
Yeah, you want
hire. I mean, you can hire a guy.
So the Hasidim have like, my guy's gonna work now.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. Okay,
So do not.
but you have to find
I
the.
wanna be a Hasidim.
Okay, listen to that. Should I wait for?
It's fine. The show must go on.
But just so listen, the last part from right here. Listen to that because it's so beautiful. This is for us as parents. But just because of that, must each one be brought up al pi darko, according to the presumed path of life to which his tendencies lead. Each one differently to one great goal. To try to bring up a Yaakov and an Esav. Listen to that. Oh, just some time. Listen to that. This is for your children.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bishat Torah in the right time, the right. Okay. To try to bring up a Yaakov and an Esav in the same college, make them the same habits and hobbies, want to teach and educate them in the same way for some studious sedate. Meditative life is the surest way to court disaster. A Yaakov will, with ever increasing zeal and zest, imbibe knowledge from the well of wisdom and truth, while Esav can hardly wait for the time when he can throw the old books, but at the same time, a whole purpose of life behind his back, a life of which he has only learned to know from one angle and in a manner for which he can find no disposition in his whole nature. Doesn't that sound like familiar? Also, I mean, 90% of those kids,
So they're saying
they are all Esavs.
They're saying
The Esav
Esau
soul.
was raised well, he was taught differently. he
Meaning
was
that
not
if,
Esau?
yes, if he was taught based on the way he was taught, and they were, only Rav Hirsch says that. I know, again, that's why I said it's controversial. Oh yeah? Right. Now, we know Yitzhak saw Esav's potential. That's why he loved Esav so much. He wanted him to be six because he, in a way, was the strongest on the physical level. And we know, well, yeah. And Esav was a reincarnation of Cain, and he says that Esav's Moshe is going to come from Esav. Right? So, it's going to be Gilgal from Esav. So the idea,
Like
or
that
Esav
point-
is going to be Kohen Gadol or whatever.
That point in the TikTok will make it like
10 million views.
exactly. I think people need to hear it. Like it's a little snippet.
I agree. I think we got to shake the world because otherwise, nah.
Yeah, I just heard Baba Jacobson was saying that like we see 14-year-olds that don't want to learn or that.
Mhm.
You have to look at like why is it important or is it like not every yeshiva works for every kid. Not everybody needs to be raised
Yes,
regular.
This is why we're actually having this. The reason why we want to do this, we want to create a different type of yeshiva. So this once a week program is just the beginning. We want to
Full time.
full time.
Yeah.
Every night we have different speaker, different class, different type of class. That's the goal. Because we're all ASOP, you know.
No,
What?
You just are Esau leader.
There needs to be a different
You said that, right? You said it.
hey, that's right. You said it. The camping, get it up. You get it over. We know. This too. Also.
Perfect.
But did you take it from red to black? No, but yes. So we have to understand that we need to teach our kids differently, and if you're just one system that fits everyone, it doesn't work. Because it's right. We need a system that fits everyone. Sorry, yeah, not one size fits all. It has to be something where you need.
You're saying that if Esau was treated like Yaakov, you're saying that it should be the same system.
No, I'm saying that because Esau was treated like Yaakov, he was not able to become the part. They didn't invest into the part that made him great. they wanted him to be like a father says, I want all my kids to be Rosh Yeshiva, to be Talmid Chacham, to be dressed the same way. I want all my kids to be lawyers, all my kids to be doctors. You're gonna destroy them because only one. Right. No, he was not treated like he's bad. He was treated in a way that was basically not different than Yaakov, and that was the problem. That was the problem. You have to make sure you see the true nature of each one of your kids. Each one is different, and if you try to be exactly the same, you this and you that, is destructive. By the way, that's the danger. Right, that's the danger very much by Hasidim and also in the yeshivish world. It's a bit true in everything where everybody's dressed the same. Everybody has the same, the same piece from the red. What? Yeah. The danger with that is that it's okay if you teach them all to have also an individual self, but otherwise, it's just.
It's hard to parent
a pack.
differently. Imagine you have like
It is
10 kids and like you have to behave differently.
It is hard.
Right.
So don't do 10 kids.
Exactly. If you
I'm not
can.
planning on it, but I just think it's hard. Like you tell it, let's say one
I
kid
think
gets
that's-
an 80 on the test, and you're like, "Why did you get an 80?" And the other kid got an 80. You're like, "I'm so proud of you." Like the kids grow up so confused. They're like,
I think that's the problem with like the last generation. Not that there is, there is like a lot of people have like my parents are one is from 15, one is from 14.
I mean, you always mess
14
this up.
14 and 13
14 and 13 what?
kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like my father's 13 kids and my mother's
No way.
Just
Yeah.
butcher that again.
Only?
Okay, whatever. You can just
That's it?
A big family.
So like
How many cousins do you have?
I don't know.
She stopped counting.
One side I could count, the other side is like over 100 grandkids and like over 30 great grandkids.
Wow.
Wow.
Dude, imagine that's a unit. It's like walking up to like,
Yeah.
Yeah, because like my grandfather passed away a year ago.
12 tribes.
Wow, you know what? Like my grandmother was never alone for a second. She has like
Wow.
every single
Every day there's another party.
They built
The way to the breeze.
like
She did more than Yaakov, more than 12.
so
You know?
so like a lot of people couldn't handle that amount of kids, but they had it because like, that was
Right.
like Hitler's revenge, I guess. So
Absolutely.
it messed up a lot of people.
Yeah, it did. Listen, and again, I'm not attacking anyone. I love Hasidim, I love Yeshivish, I love everything. I love the system, but there's a lot of broken pieces. There's a lot of, I've been working with kids at risk for 20 years, and there's a lot of damage, and that's because of that. Mostly that's problem. That's one of the many problems. So
What would you tell the parents of all those kids? You have to give them one lesson.
That's exactly what you're teaching.
you
Yeah.
love them for who they are. Try to see their uniqueness and help them become that
Don't
unique
fix
individual. Don't try to make them be who you want to be,
right.
Who you want them to.
who you want
Your
them to
kids
be.
are on a projection.
Help them be what they are meant to be for themselves, not for
We
you.
don't look at them as failures because they're not.
That's right.
Treat them-
Okay, now here's
Lecha for themselves.
See, a lot of people see their kids as like an extension. of
Right.
themselves, so.
And that's
They
dangerous.
see that everything they
That's
do.
Like
very-
I know somebody that like her kids are her like she feels as if they're her.
Her,
Like she doesn't even
it's me and
doesn't
hands
think her
with a
kids
boost. We have a
deserve-
booster
like she doesn't think her son deserves a good shit up because like
because she doesn't know. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. We look at our kids as ourselves when it's not you. And that's why one of the things that parents need to do. Yeah, I think is it you or Ilya was the one thing? Yeah. So I think one of the most important things. What do parents need to learn from that, and how we need to break our egos. Parents are ashamed of their kids, and they don't want people to know that my kid cuts his payers, or that my kid or my daughter, she doesn't do tithes, or
They're
Yeah, but
People look down at you. And
because-
I'm like, what do you care?
but if the parents, I know because I went through it, and at the beginning it's like, oh, I'm a rabbi, like what people are
No,
gonna
I
say.
had someone look at
So
me
it's
like,
very
oh, like,
hard, but
It's,
like,
it's
not
right.
every kid is the same.
Exactly.
And rather your kid be attached, like attached
Absolutely.
to age kind of, without pays.
Absolutely, because this is not one size fits all. But the problem is like we say we are like this, and this is tradition, and this is what we do. And if it looks different, it's an embarrassment to me. I'm a failure. That's how parents
But
feel.
also they should think about when people see like school is different and still accept them, like that's also a big plus.
Yeah.
Right.
Like your kid colored out of the
Guys, one at a time because it's recording and we can't hear.
Your kid's colored out of the line, but you still are open and accepting to him making his own path and like having his own way in Judaism. If you accept it, that's also.
Right, unconditional love. To say, I told my kids, I told them many times, they all know that. I tell every parent has to verbally say to his kids, I don't care how religious you are, I will love you always the same way, whether you're religious or not.
Oh.
Unless a parent is able to say that with honesty, not with you know, extraction, and then because the kid who feels the love is dependent on Judaism will throw Judaism away. Yeah. Kids nowadays, they want authentic love, they want the real thing, and unless they feel that from the parents, they say, oh, you prefer Judaism more before me? Okay, I'm not interested.
It seems like those people are putting the community guidelines over the love of the kids. That's what the kids are noticing.
Exactly.
Right. Yes.
So is that what you tell them?
Because you're forcing kids to be a certain way.
So why
the kids feel that.
Why is Judaism built such a way that like the parents
It's
are?
not built like so. It's not built like that.
It's the system.
Look at any of the
It's the
others.
Judaism of God.
They all love the kids.
Where-
Everyone loved Yishmael. It's not
The-
what they said.
right.
They all had the love for the kid. They didn't
The Yetzer Hara
decision that worked.
kicks in society in the gallows. It infiltrates, and what happened is that we don't apply what Judaism teaches. If you follow Judaism properly, right, you're not just in a robot and you say al pi darko, right? Al pi darko. Okay, why don't we do that? Just doing that is already teaching each child. We don't have a school where everybody has to be the same. We have to do a Montessori school or whatever, which now is start having all types of Jewish school. I teach now in a school that is you're not forced to daven or to learn. You can choose. There's a few different rabbis and you choose. It's really great. But the kids are already very, damaged on some level. So it's not always hard for them to choose. It should be from when they're younger, not when they start rebelling and smoking and vaping and speaking like a rapper. By the way, that's one of the biggest problems today, where everybody is a rapper, and the language of the teenagers is like all the Jews are black today. Yeah. All the young Jewish kids are black. Yo, bro, FDs, like it's the language has changed. And
you could fake it, but you won't make it.
Yeah, I know, and it's I feel like rap infiltrated the Jewish world, and yeah. You have a question?
Yeah, how should the kid approach it if they know that their parents are not proud?
If you're very
Good
smart,
question, next.
no, if you're very smart and you're aware of the system, of the process, and the problem why parents are like that and reacting like that, I will wait till you're outside of the home, and meaning at least for external things, for every case is different. This is again, right? Every case is different. If you're able to discuss with the parents and they're open-minded, you send them to me, or you learn with them. Rav Hirsch. By the way, did you know there's a Rav Hirsch? Look, Daddy. Look, Mommy. Look, do you know that? That you don't have. I don't have to be like you. I thought always I have to be like you, but I don't have. Look at that.
But it's emotional and practical.
I know. So therefore,
it's also a lot of fear because the parents think that if they don't raise the
they
kids,
think they're failures.
Yeah.
So
I think the biggest.
What's the difference, like what is the line between like you live with your parents, so you have to respect what
It-
they.
because because
I'm talking when you're older and you can understand like this is
This
how
is-
they
this
are.
is
You should
Judaism, this is
respect
the
them in
system,
their
and, like,
house or
friendship between the two.
listen. Like it's my life and it's not okay. So why should I not?
you're speaking about from the perspective of the child.
Yeah, like as a child.
I
Like,
don't-
Why should you follow what they do? If you're not there, if you're not.
but
you're
like
not-
you're still living.
No,
No,
you're
I'm
still
saying
living-
you're living at your parents'
No, you
house, or
understand?
you come visit and your parents have a specific thing. In
Right.
They want
It's
you
gotta
to
do
do.
it.
it's minhag and makam, meaning it's a matter of respect. They have built a life that, and they have their connection to Hashem is this way, and you came from that, and therefore you're saying I'm respecting your way, right? Now, some parents say you can ask if they're mature enough to discuss with you. They say, do I have to be dressed like that? Do I have to cover my hair? Do I have to whatever it is that the parents ask? If they say no, it's fine, be yourself, it's great. Most parents will say, please, darling, just do it for me, and then you can be whoever you want after. We love you, right?
When I go
Which
home,
is
I
not
go
re-
back
which
home.
is not.
My mother sometimes say, like, I don't know, just like don't come out with
Right.
kids.
Yeah. So because
It'll ruin their name.
yeah,
It's
no.
not about the name, no, it's
No, it's
about
like
like
you're
how they
influencing
want
them.
to raise their kids, like.
Oh.
It's
So
also
now-
the level that
It-
you're
it's-
like moving a little.
It's
Yeah,
challenging.
because the
Like,
oldest
your
child
dad
goes off to their, and the
No,
youngest
they're
child also.
very, I never had a problem with my parents ever about something, but sometimes my mother will be like, you know what, like, they're in school, they're, like,
I
we'll
don't think
get
it's you
confused.
like this.
But you see
No,
the
that's
problem is the parents are
Very
not speaking. When this was happening to my older kids who were transforming themselves, I was learning all that. I was telling to my younger kids that the older kids are on the Lecha path. They're looking for themselves, and when you're looking for themselves, or you have a bad experience or something, you're any answer? Okay. Anyway, and you're looking to find. You're trying to them that they are in a process. It's a process. It's not, we're not robots, and you're gonna find yourself. So
But like,
they strong.
the younger one?
let's
Say,
say.
oh really?
check out.
I want to do it too. It's challenging. It's very challenging because if you look at my kids, you say they're all of the dead. No, if you just look at them, right? But the truth is, I think their connection with God is deeper and more authentic than most kids I've seen their age. And
But by.
Not a
protecting your
biased opinion
kids-
at all.
no. If I didn't know that, I would say the same thing.
It's like they have this,
They have an amazing fighter also.
they have this mentality.
Who's their dad?
So they call him Rabachi.
They have this somehow that like I don't know if they still as extreme as it used to be, but like 20 years ago in Lakewood, like they would like kids be thrown out of the house because they don't want the other kids to be influenced.
Lakewood.
How do they do that?
Uh,
I don't know if it's
no,
like
it-
that anymore. I
no.
don't think it's like that anymore.
No, because
It was like that 20
no,
years ago.
it's still like that,
Not
but
as
not
bad.
as bad.
Not
Now
as
there was this Avi Fisher,
Yeah.
there's a whole
Yeah, my brother swears by it.
yeah. I went
Now
to
the
his training.
parents are off there.
My brother, he has
The kids are
problems with his
finding out.
door,
Yeah.
he swears.
So,
to it.
I
They
Fisher
see
is
their
amazing.
life. I don't know.
I went to his
My
training.
friends' parents were told to kick their brother out of the house or they were kicking the kids out of school.
Bye
No way.
bye.
And she's
Yeah.
also told not to be friends with
There's
him. She wants
some-
a job at
There's
school.
some people they were told to tear Kriya for the kid.
No way.
Yeah,
To tear Kriya.
my friend's mother.
This is not our Judaism.
No, it's not Judaism in the first place.
And what bothers me most is that it's not like genuine, like you're not doing it for God, you're doing it to
Yeah.
keep the
Oh, yeah,
system and
it's-
the picture
Yeah,
across.
it's because
Oh, you're not gonna
they
lie,
only-
you're not
if
gonna-
you're a sheep, your only ego is to be like everyone.
Mm.
The moment you're different,
Like, if it was a
you're the
genuine
virus.
sacrifice for God, then I would
Right.
respect that.
It's called sheep ego.
sheep ego. Yeah, sheep ego, absolutely.
That's a
I
shirt.
like sheep.
And
So my father always says that
knows.
it's like 70 years after the Holocaust, but if there was a sign in Rodney, like
In-
Big Show in Williamsburg, there's a sign in Rodney that said, there's a bus leaving from the Williamsburg Bridge at 9:45 on Thursday, the whole soccer community would show up. Nobody would ask where we're going. It's like, people
Right,
say
right.
that because of the Holocaust, we shouldn't like go blindly.
Blindly, right. Let's go into the train. Oh, yeah, let's go in the train. When does it go? Oh. To the unknown place.
A bus is leaving
Right.
at 9 a.m.
It's
on Thursday.
It's exactly, you have to be careful.
That if there was a sign saying there that there's a bus leaving at 9 a.m. on Thursday at the from the
Okay.
Williamsburg Bridge, the whole Southland would get on the bus and nobody would ask where we're going.
The last piece from Rav Hirsch, because let's quote the whole thing like that. You see it's had Yitzchak, but now he goes straight into it. Okay, he's the only one who says that. I know some people disagree, so you can't say that because Yitzchak. But I think there's some truth to it to some level. But I think the main thing Rav Hirsch wanted to teach us a lesson. Had Yitzchak and Rivka studied Esav's nature and character early enough and asked themselves, how can even an Esav, how can all the strength and energy, agility, ADHD, HDD, and courage that ABC, right, and courage that lies slumbering in this child be won over to be used in the service of God, and the future Gever be trained to become not a Gever Said, but in truth a Gever Lifnei Hashem. Then Yaakov and Esav, with their totally different natures, could still have remained twin brothers in spirit and life. Quite early in life, Esav's sword and Yaakov's spirit, could have worked hand in hand. And who can, like Issachar and Zebulun, one is a businessman and one is work, and they work as one, understand they need each other. Like the soldier in the yeshiva and the soldier in the IDF, we need both. They understand that the soldier in the IDF needs the yeshiva bafur, and yeshiva bafur needs the IDF, and they need both each other. That's a true Yaakov and Esav. And you can see it sometimes in Israel. And who can say what a different aspect the whole history of the ages might have presented? Because Alice was like Dalo Naharim, only when the boys had grown into men. One was surprised to see that out of one and the self-same womb, having had exactly the same care, training, schooling, yeshiva, and coaching, two such contrasting persons emerge. Just as with Yaakov, each time denotes the nature of his character, and Yoshev or Halim, the nature of his vocation. So with Esav too, the Ish Yodei Tzayid would be the nature of his character, and Ish Sadeh, the vocation. I mean, Esav is the one who killed Nimrod. Who are the Jews who are going to kill Ahmadinejad or whatever, all the bad people, right? It's an Esav type of Jew, right? Right. Yeah. So we have to understand that the IDF guys are the Esav guys, and we need those. And in Israel now we have, I think the Zionists, by the way, the Yeshiva Rav Kook was like that. You know, Yeshiva Rav Kook, they would be learning all day, and when it's time for war, they would go straight to the army and fight. That's what the balance between Yaakov and Esav was. The ability to do both, but I mean, those are individuals who
actually do the actual fight.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the Chardal.
But yeah, from the Mossad, the Yeshiva, the students from Rabbi Yeshiva directly, that's what they're thinking. They will go and they were the first one.
Cooks and stuff on there.
No, we have me and a few others. It's true. It's not as popular because at the beginning everybody was looking at Rav Kook, oh, it's Zionist, but his story is amazing. He said he was not ready for the war, was not ready for it.
Where is Rav Kook from?
Rav Kook, he was originally from No, I mean, he was from Europe and then, what?
Portugal, no.
Something like that. From Europe, and then he came in Israel, and he became the first chief rabbi of Israel. He was the first chief rabbi of Israel.
He was like, let's make Israel Jewish instead of just making it separate.
Right.
State.
Right.
And,
But
and Satmar was like, hell no.
yeah, exactly. No, because he wanted to take the Yaakov and Esau. He wanted to do the Yaakov and Esau. And he was praising the Jews who were working the land and the Chilonim, and he was involved with them. He says, that's the future of the nation. And he wanted them to encourage sports.
He wanted to
He was learning it.
blend them, right? Combine them together,
Right.
But Satmar, whoever else, they're like, no, we cannot have
Like a lot of
Yaakov
things,
until
I
we get rid of
understand that.
Esau.
And you can see
Right,
that
that's
the-
only
they're-
when
they don't
one
agree
is
with,
not
it's like
using
not
his
good.
energy for good.
It's not the
That is
fairest.
all.
Right, right. It has to be something.
It doesn't have to be your district.
Alone.
It's still your district.
Guys,
Don't
let-
just follow that.
it is. It's worse than that.
Everything comes down to that. And
At the end, it's the root and system. When you understand that system, then it all works against empire. Just need to. Guys, how many? It's halakha. How many children are you supposed to have in the classroom?
How many
Oh.
what?
Max.
9.
There's a limit.
How
No.
many what?
I know
The
it's
Gemara says there's a certain
Like what,
amount
20?
of more actually.
How many?
32.
No, the maximum amount of students Gemara in
49.
Baba Basra is 25. You're not allowed to have more than 24 students. You have one teacher for 24 students. If you have more than 24, you have to have a teacher. Why is it like that? Because one of the reasons the teacher is not capable of helping those as many kids. You need to be able to focus on each one of them.
27, 28.
Asur,
That's why you guys are.
Asur.
And they wonder why.
Yeah, no wonder why I was a 26 squad. I flipped out, but they said not you need an assistant teacher or whatever. But it's part of that because how are you gonna help kids develop their own individuality if you cannot pay attention to everyone? So, yeah. So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. How to become be successful, to raise real children, and to understand that all the kids today are just looking for themselves and trying to be accepted for who they are. Right? That's really.
Amen.
It's all given